What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We are back with another off-season rebuild as we have the 76ers and the Knicks to do, but today we'll be doing the Philadelphia 76ers after they were eliminated in Game 7 by the Boston Celtics. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to the channel. As always, greatly appreciated. Quick announcement, tomorrow I will be streaming the draft lottery. I'm going to be going live probably like an hour before the lottery starts, or maybe even before that. Who knows? I like to go live early on the days that I do go live. So keep an eye on that. If you want to hang out with me during the draft lottery, you're welcome to. I'll be going live. But as far as the Philadelphia 76ers are concerned, man, oh man, was this their best chance, in my opinion, to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. They had them in that Game 6 on the ropes. Jason Tatum turned into Superman at the very end after he looked terrible in that whole Game 6. And of course, Game 7, Jason Tatum put this team away, and this team wasn't even very close in Game 7. So you have to wonder, is it the end of the process? Philadelphia, with Joel Embiid, has never made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They've been to 2 Game 7s in the second round. Obviously, one losing to the Kawhi shot. And now this one, of course, they lost to a vintage Jason Tatum game. And the Boston Celtics just hitting on all cylinders. So this will be a very interesting offseason for Philadelphia. James Harden is a free agent. So there's obviously some rumors about him potentially returning to Houston. If he'll do that, we shall see. You know, in the post-game presser, he said that he's excited about the future of this team. But players say things all the time, so I don't really know what to expect. I could see this offseason going either way for Philadelphia, so let's get right into it. One thing I think we can all bet on, 100% without a doubt, I would imagine, that this man, Doc Rivers, is fired. 100%. So that's what we're going to be doing. Doc Rivers, I feel like, is just an obvious firing at this point. Whether the Philadelphia 76ers are going to rebuild or not, I'm pretty sure Doc Rivers' job is gone. So we're going to go ahead and fire him. And of course, the Phoenix Suns just fired Monty Williams, so I think that is the perfect replacement. So we're gonna go get Monty Williams to be the brand new head coach here in Philadelphia. Pretty sure he used to be assistant here. I might be wrong on that, but we got him now, and then we're gonna fill the rest of this out. And then we have draft night, where obviously we don't have a first round pick. One thing we know is Philadelphia does not have control over all their future first because of trades they've made in the past. So we definitely got an interesting offseason ahead of us because we don't have future draft picks, not a ton of them anyway. We only have a second rounder from the Thunder in this one. We have Tobias Harris expiring contract, James Harden impending free agency. Do we trade Joel Embiid? There's a lot of questions here for the 76ers this offseason. Today's video is brought to you by Prize Picks. The NBA playoffs are officially upon us, and there's no better way to get more out of the NBA playoffs that you're watching with Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a player props app that allows you to bet overs or unders on the players you love watching. Let me show you the website. Prize Picks is available on mobile or desktop. Currently, we're on the desktop version, and you're going to be opened up with this. Basically, you have every sport you can imagine. You got tennis, soccer, PGA, CSGO if you're into stuff like that, MMA, but we're here for the NBA. The play-in tournament is officially starting, and I'm looking at some of these props right here, and I'm feeling juicy. So all you basically do, you can choose between 2 to 6 players. This is my favorite way of getting more out of the game I'm watching. I'm already going to watch the game, so might as well have some fun with it. So let's say I wanted to go Clint Capella over points, and let's say I want to go like maybe over Tyler Hero's prop as well. You just go more and more. 2 players is 3 times your money, and you can go all the way up to 25 times with 6 players. If you're still unsure about it, here are some examples of winnings I've had in the past, and you can go ahead and sign up with my link down in the description below. Use code Crushables. They're matching your deposit dollar for dollar up to $100 for first-time users. Thank you, Prize Picks, for sponsoring today's video. In the draft, I went ahead and selected Kobe Burks in the second round. Player options, got James Harden, of course, declining. Maxey, we are accepting, of course, no reason to let him go. Montrezl Harrell accepts, Daniel House accepts, and Jaden Springer accepts. To be honest with you, I could see, like I just mentioned earlier, I could see Philadelphia's offseason going either way, but part of me wants to just tear it down because I feel like Philadelphia's best chance is when they had Jimmy Butler, right? And this year felt like a really good chance as well. I feel like there's some really big smoke to the idea of Harden returning to Houston. And look, they've offered him a 4-year deal. So I kind of wonder if we should just let it happen and go a different route in this rebuild and kind of make this rebuild fun today. So you know what? We're going to do that. I could resign James Harden and run it back, but I want to go a different direction with this team. I'm going to just blow it up. That's what I want to do today. I don't know if Philadelphia's going to actually do that. I could see it happening, but I'm not saying it's going to. But today, to make this rebuild more fun and interesting, we're going to let James Harden go to Houston like the rumors are saying, and we're going to trade Joel Embiid and then probably Tobias Harris as well. We're going to keep Maxey, of course, but I have the perfect trade package in my mind. for Joel Embiid, I think it could make a ton of sense. And no, I'm not talking about the Blazers today because I know someone would be upset if I did. But I have a different team in mind for Joel Embiid. So we're going to trade Joel Embiid. I'm going to see if I can make this trade work. We shall see if we can. We're going to rebuild around Maxey. I'm also going to trade Tobias Harris expiring. So like I said, I could run it back, but I feel like doing it this way is going to be a lot more fun. So the trade idea that I have with Joel Embiid is with the Miami Heat. Him and Jimmy Butler, as we know, are super close. I think Miami could give us a package that could help us out right away. So I'm trying to get Bam and Hero from them. There's no incentive for us to be bad. So Miami came up short against Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals, at least in the 2K simulation. And then they could also get PJ Tucker back. So if it's like Embiid and Tucker for Bam and Hero, I am going to try to squeeze out 2 firsts from them as well. And if I can get like Jovic, that would be awesome as well. So Joel Embiid, Tucker for Bam, Hero, 2 firsts, and Nikola Jovic. What do they say? They don't agree to it. Okay, that kind of sucks. They say they're going to be weak at the shooting guard spot. I mean, I guess I can give you like Kobe Burks, who I just drafted. I don't love doing that, but I mean, if I have to, I guess. 2 seconds, 3 seconds. They still don't agree. Okay, if I remove Kobe Burks, and then let's say I'm gonna make this happen. Let's say we remove Jovic. Let's see what they say to that. They still don't agree. I'll throw Kobe Burks back. Not Maxey. Maxey would make it go through. I'm not doing that though. Kobe Burks, they don't agree. And then I'll throw in Springer or Korkmaz. Come on, we're getting close. I know you want to accept this. Come on. Wow. Okay, that's not gonna work either. All right, last offer, Montrezl Harrell to Miami as well, and they agree. Just like that, we got exactly what we wanted to get done. We got Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero and 2 firsts. Would have loved Jovic. Unfortunately, I did have to throw in Kobe Burks, Montrezl Harrell in 2 seconds, which kind of sucks, but I feel like obviously it's not going to matter too much. As long as we have Bam and Hero, I think that's what's going to ultimately matter. So that is the route we're going with this rebuild today. We traded Joel Embiid. James Harden is leaving, and now we have a big 3 of Maxey, Hero, and Bam Adebayo. So that is going to move Maxey to the point guard spot now, which is going to be cool. So now we have a backcourt of Maxey and Hero with a center of Bam Adebayo, and then I'm also going to be trading Tobias Harris. We got Melton as a backup, which is really solid as well. I feel really, really good about that trade we just made. Of course, I gave up too much, but 2K, obviously, you know, you got to do what you can to make it work with 2K without using trade overrides. So I'm going to go ahead and trade Tobias Harris now. So trying to trade Tobias Harris here, and the trade I'm going to be doing is getting Ben Simmons and a 1st round pick from the... Just kidding. Philadelphia fans would probably kill me if I did something like that, but I'm not actually going to do that. I kind of like this offer where we get Josh Green and Tim Hardaway, but I actually like the Wizards offer even better. We're going to be trading Korkmaz and Tobias Harris over for Morris and Daniel Gafford. That's going to give us a really nice backup center to back up Adebayo, and Morris is going to be a really solid backup point guard as well. So I'm going to do that trade. And just like that, I feel like we walk away pretty good. So Melton, we could probably move back to shooting guard now. So now we have our backup backcourt with Morris and Melton, which I feel pretty good about. We don't really have starting forwards, but we could fill that out in free agency. We do have McDaniels out there, and then we could probably get like a mid-level forward, hopefully. That is what we're going to have to do. But we're in the start, and we actually have money now. So we can actually get somebody else we wanted to since we just dumped cap space. So I think I am going to try. I mean, I could sign Cameron Johnson, which would be interesting. It'd be like a full-on turnaround if we did something like that. Johnson would be a really solid starter. So I'm kind of feeling the idea of Cameron Johnson. And then what 4 can we get? I don't want Grant, Jay Crowder. Trey Lyles also would be pretty fine as well for a while. Washington, he doesn't really excite me. Doesn't go up in overall very much. Grant Williams also kind of interesting. But I think to keep it cheap for now, I'm going to go Trey Lyles. And then I'm also going to sign Cameron Johnson. I think Cameron Johnson's going to fit perfectly. I know Brooklyn's probably would match this, but I'm going to try that. So Lyles and Cameron Johnson. I don't want to renounce McDaniels. I'm going to try to bring him back, actually. So if we can bring back McDaniels, I'll try to bring back Milton maybe potentially as well. So that gives us Cameron Johnson. I'm going to bring back Shake Milton and Jalen McDaniels as backups, which is going to be really nice off the bench for us. And then Milton is going to sign as well. So I'm feeling good about that. And I think that's going to be all we can really get in free agency. Paul Reed is also going to be coming back on his qualifying offer if I didn't renounce him, which I might have. I don't know. Melton, Morris. Now we have like a lot of depth at the guard spot, which is fine. Jalen McDaniels, and then you got Trey Lyles, the starting 4. Not ideal. He's not going to be the permanent starting 4, obviously, but eventually I will look to replace him. And McDaniels could start or back up Cameron Johnson. So I feel really, really good about what we just accomplished. So let's go straight to player progression, and let's see what it's looking like. So Louis King, we did not get Paul Reed back, which is fine, but Maxey jumps up to an 89 overall. Heroes up 1, and then Bam Adebayo is an 87. Johnson stays the same. Morris, Gafford. I feel like this is still a playoff team, though, in my mind. If you look at this team, it's still a playoff team. I'll probably stop at the trade deadline to get a brand new power forward, because as much as I like Trey Lyles, I don't really want him to be the starter. He had a kind of a resurgence in Sacramento, which is awesome, but he's not a starter. He's just not. So I'm going to try to get somebody different at the starting 4 spot. Power ranking is only going to let us 21st overall, but if you look at this rotation, it's Maxey, Hero, Johnson, Lyles, Bam Adebayo, Morris, Gafford, Melton, and Shake Milton. I mean, I feel really good about that. I'm going to throw Shake Milton out of the rotation for now. Probably going to be using his contract or McDaniel's contract to get a really good 4 at the deadline. Proficiency is 3.5. Could be 4-star anywhere. We cannot, so I'll leave it at pace and space. And then last but not least, I want to look at shot tendencies. So shot tendencies, Maxey's got to go up way higher now that James Harden and Bam Adebayo, or not Adebayo, that Embiid is gone. Bam, I'll leave at an 84. That's fine. Tyler Hero does a great job usually, so I'll just leave him. And then Cameron Johnson boost up to like a 70. Cameron Johnson reunited with Monty Williams as well. It was something I didn't mention, but regardless, I will see you guys at the trade deadline, where hopefully we're still a good team and we can add to this team with a power forward. So as promised, we are stopped at the trade deadline, and I just wanted to show off this shooting real quick. Look at the shooting we have in our starting 5. 45% from 3 from Maxey, 46% from Tyler Hero, 45% from Cameron Johnson. Obviously, Trey Lyles only averaging 32%, and then Bam Adebayo not too much at all. But the spacing with the 3-point shot is phenomenal, which I love. But I want to keep adding to that. So I want to try to get a power forward here who is shooting really nicely from 3 as well. And I have a couple guys in mind, a few guys actually. So one was Jared Vanderbilt, which would be fun if we could bring him in. And then you got Sadiq Bey and Patrick Williams. So all those guys are literally expiring contracts, which is why it could make things pretty, or yeah, they're going to be free agents. So Atlanta's contending, so they may not think about trading Sadiq Bey. Chicago, on the other hand, was a guy I was kind of looking at, like I said. They are rebuilding, and Patrick Williams could easily be available, so that could be an option. And then the Lakers are buying. So, I mean, we could get Jared Vanderbilt, but I know for a fact Patrick Williams asked for like a bag, which is why I'm kind of hesitant to get him. But at the same time, if we look at his shooting this season, he's shooting 44% from 3. I don't know how many he's attempting. I think it shows you somewhere here. 3 points, I guess I would need it in a different view. Whatever. I mean, he's still shooting great. So if we get Patrick Williams here, that would be honestly phenomenal. That is my goal here. So I'm going to try to get Patrick Williams, despite him asking for a ton of money in the offseason. We'll make it work. So I'm going to try to see if Chicago would be willing to give me Patrick Williams. So I'm going to include Shake Milton, who we don't necessarily need anyway, unless if we want to trade Monte Morris, who is expiring as well, and we can roll with Shake Milton. Either way, it doesn't matter too much. They're both pretty good from 3. I mean, not that that's the only thing that matters, but since Monte Morris is going to have to be your sign, I'm going to try to trade Monte Morris instead. And then I will give you maybe like Jaden Springer. I guess I can't include a player. What about a second? They want a 1st-round pick, and they get Dwayne, and they give me Dwayne Dedman. So we're walking with Patrick Williams. You know what? I think it's a done deal. We get Patrick Williams, who's just going to ultimately space out the floor even more for us. So it's Maxey, Hero, Johnson. They want to start Lyles still, but I'm going to throw Patrick Williams in over him, Gafford, Melton, and then Shake Milton. And then McDaniels is on the outside looking in now. So I feel really good, though, about that addition with Patrick Williams. So we're going to force Patrick Williams to be a starter. We're going to let him cook, and we'll see if that was the right move. We're really good in the East right now, so let's just keep it moving. Jokic wins MVP. Vic wins Rookie of the Year in Utah. You got Ben Simmons, 6th Man of the Year on the Nets, 80 Defensive Player. Garland, Most Improved in Cleveland, and then Quinn Snyder, Coach of the Year. So we did pretty good this season. I don't know if we got a representative on the All-NBA teams. We did not. You got Jokic. Should we get Joel Embiid still? We do, and Jimmy Butler make it. I don't see Jimmy Butler's name. All-Defensive First Team and All-Defensive Second Team. Is Miami in the playoffs? They are. They are the 6th seed. Wouldn't it be ironic if we ran into Miami, which they have, wow, they have Lowry and Russell Westbrook as a backcourt with Jimmy and Joel Embiid. That's an interesting roster, I will say so. We are the 4th seed in the East, though, so even after trading Embiid, we still did pretty good. 26 points from Maxey, turning into a rising star right before our eyes. We kind of knew that already. 20 points from Hero. Again, the shooting was just amazing. 18 from Bam, 10 rebounds and 12 points, and then 11 points from Lyles, 10 from Gafford. So overall, I feel really good about how this went. Patrick Williams, where did he go? He shot 45% from 3. So on only 2, okay, it was only 2 attempts a game, which is why it was so good. Never mind. So still feel pretty good about that. But let's go ahead and see how we do against Toronto. So Toronto's got Wallace. They got OG, Barnes, Siakam, Vucevic, Achua, Boucher, Josh Richardson, Otto Porter. So they decided not to bring back Jakob Poeltl. This is our roster compared to theirs. We'll see how it goes. Somebody current round against Toronto, and we are going to beat them in 5. So just like that, took care of business. Cleveland absolutely swept Miami, and now we get Atlanta, who obviously are contenders, so this would be a tough matchup. We'll see how things go. They got Capella Bay, Hunter, Murray, Trae Young. The odds of us winning are obviously pretty slim. So game 1, we're up 1-0 though. We beat them by 1. Trae Young 21-8, Maxey had 28-8. So game 2, we're up 2-0, 116-107. 32 for Maxey, 16 for Miro, 14 and 14 and 12. So far so good. Took both their games at home, and we're up 3-0. Atlanta's one of those teams you don't beat very easily. Cameron Johnson 6 of 10 from 3, absolutely amazing. Lyles 26 points. That's exactly what we need. And then do we sweep the Atlanta Hawks? Are they about to come back 3-0? I could see 3-0 come back. Watch. It's happening, isn't it? It's happening. Oh no, we beat them in 7. Wow. I thought for sure. I'm like, okay, I accepted my fate. We're losing to Atlanta in 7. But now we get Cleveland. So we actually ended up beating Atlanta, which feels like to me we actually have a good chance of getting all the way to the NBA Finals. This is the first time Philadelphia's been in the Eastern Conference Finals in forever. So this is kind of fun because, you know, Joel Embiid never made it there, and as soon as we trade him, we made it there, which is kind of ironic. But game 1, they're up 1-0. Game 2, do we come to an end here? We do. 3-0. They beat us in 4. Unfortunate, but that was only year 1. Only year 1 of what we just built here. Cleveland goes on to win the championship over the Clippers. Really unfortunate because being Atlanta is an opportunity you don't get very often, at least in 2K, obviously. LeBron James, Chris Paul retire, Lowry's retiring, and Horford's retiring. Let's go straight to the lottery. It's not really going to matter for us. Knicks get number 1 via the Mavericks, which is insane. Orlando number 2, and then Bulls at number 3. I cannot wait for the draft lottery tomorrow, man. As a Blazers fan, I'm going to be in shambles. Monty Williams, Sam Cassell, we're going to keep that all the same. I'm going to fill this out. Not going to be a whole lot of movement this offseason. I think I automatically mostly just want to run it back, but I know Maxey is going to have to be resigned this offseason. In this draft, we actually have 2 first-round picks, which is kind of convenient. So we could add 2 players, or we could try to move up, which is what I'm going to try to do. The 23-26, I don't expect like a big jump, but if we can get to like 17 from Detroit or from the Knicks and move up, so we get pick 17. So let's go straight into this draft and see if we can get anybody good at 17. So we move up in the draft. Ron Holland literally could not have gone any better. That is going to be the pick. So Ron Holland, welcome to Philadelphia. So we move up to 17 from 23 and 26. And get Ron Holland. I mean, a 77 overall literally could not have gone any better. Player option Springer, we're accepting. Qualifying offers Maxey and Patrick Williams are both free agents. I do want to bring both of them back, but we just brought in Ron Holland. So technically that makes Williams a little bit more expendable, but I know he asked for a bag. 24 million actually is somewhat reasonable. He's not asking for like a ton. I've seen him ask for like 35 million in the past. So that's not terrible. So I can work with that. I think we'll see what if we can do, but he only averaged 7 points. I mean, again, he shot 45% from 3, but that was because he didn't shoot that much. Melton, I want to bring back as well. Of course, Maxey and Williams I'm bringing back. So Melton, I'm going to sign. Maxey, as soon as he gets an offer, I'm matching it. He has not gotten one just yet, but now we can lock him up for 5 years. Thankfully, no one offered him a contract. So Maxey is going to sign that 5-year deal with Philadelphia. Got that taken care of. And I don't think there's anybody else I want to bring in. I think the only thing we need to prioritize now is literally just getting Patrick Williams back. So we have Milton, we have Melton, we have McDaniels, Ron Holland, we have Lyles, and we have Embiid and not Embiid, Bam Adebayo and Gafford. So I'm just gonna wait till day 12 of free agency to lessen Patrick Williams' value a little bit, and then we can re-sign him. So let's go to day 12, and we should be good. We can lock him up for 4 or 5 years. So his value has gone down to 21 million. So if I can get him on a 4-year deal worth, let's say 19.5, I think that's pretty fair. We'll do something like that, and he's going to sign it. So just like that, we got Patrick Williams re-signed. Maxey is up. Hero is up. Gafford is up. Williams is up. McDaniels is up. And everyone else is up as well. So no one's going down, which is a good sign. So let's go straight this next season. We got to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Now, we didn't do a ton to improve. So we're automatically just kind of hoping that improvement's going to come from within. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully the improvement and the progression is going to do us some good. So Power Key is going to last at 15. If we look at this starting lineup, it's going to be Maxey, Hero, Johnson, Williams, Adebayo, Gafford, Melton, Lyles, and Shake Milton, and then Ron Holland. So we obviously added some assets. So maybe want to hit the home run hitter at the trade deadline with a like brand new player here, because we have 2 firsts, technically 3, I guess, but you can't trade back-to-back picks technically in the CBA. So although we don't really follow the CBA to like a T, because 2K doesn't allow you to have all your draft picks, but if there's an opportunity at the trade deadline to improve even further, I won't hesitate to do it. So we're stopped the trade deadline at 35 and 21, and it's time to go get another player that Monty Williams has coached in the past. You guys probably already know who I'm talking about. He's in Brooklyn, and that is Mikal Bridges. If we can get Mikal Bridges here, Someone that the Philadelphia 76ers originally drafted, then traded him on draft night. Imagine Mikal Bridges in Philadelphia's whole career. He would have been just so much better there. It was a perfect match. His mom worked in HR. I still remember that trade on draft night. How not embarrassing necessarily, but like so unfortunate that was that the 76ers traded him even after celebrating with his mom, if I'm not mistaken, on like state. I can't remember. I just remember his mom being super happy he was drafted to the team she worked for. But then they traded him for Zaire Smith. Where's Zaire Smith? Who knows? But I'm here to right that wrong. And Monty Williams is a coach here now. And right now in Brooklyn, he's only averaging 11 points per game. So he's not even doing anything crazy there anymore. So maybe they'd be willing to trade him. So I'm going to try to get Bridges to complete the final piece to the puzzle, which means Cameron Johnson and Bridges would be reunited as well. So who do I trade in order to get this done? Well, that's a good question. I'm going to try to see if I can include, well, it's what? Worth $23 million. So I got to include someone's big contract, which I just gave Patrick Williams a big contract, but I feel like Bridges is much better. So this is the route we're going in. I'm going to include Ron Holland, who I just drafted, but I think it's going to be fair for them to go ahead and agree to this. So Tyler Cook, and then I will be including those first round picks that I have. So 2028, and then let's pretend this is a 2030, but it's 2029. So Williams, Holland, 28, 2030 for Bridges. They do agree, and just like that, we get Mikal Bridges in Philadelphia, which is what should have happened originally, and Cameron Johnson will move down to the 4. So this is our new lineup. It's Maxey, Hero, Bridges, Cameron Johnson, Adebayo, Gafford, Melton, Lyles, and Shake Milton. Exactly what the doctor ordered. Bridges doesn't need to be a star here, but hey, if he wanted to be, that's fine as well. Should have been what he originally was from the beginning of his career, but now he's here. What, 10 years later? I don't even know when that draft was. That's probably not 10 years. Regardless, listen like the rest of the season. Record at the end of the season for us with 57-25, but they still gave it to the Atlanta Hawks and Quinn Snyder. Quinn Snyder and the Hawks, man, they're just different. They're just different in 2K. It's a reality. We are the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference, and Atlanta got the 3rd seed, and they still won Coach of the Year. If you take a look at the player stats for this season, you had 31 from Maxey, took a massive jump. 23 from Hero, 17 from Bam, and then 12 from Cameron Johnson, 11 from Bridges, and then 10 from Melton, and then 9 from Gafford, 8 from Lyles, and 5 from Shake Milton. So here we go. We get Charlotte in round 1. They have LaMelo, Rozier, TJ Warren, Avdia, Williams, and they got Lonzo Ball off the bench as well. So the Ball brothers are reunited in Charlotte, which honestly would not be surprised if that happens in real life. Because if Lonzo comes back, which isn't going to be till not this season, but the year after that, won't he have like 1 year left in his contract if he accepts that player option, if I'm not mistaken, or he can be a free agent? Maybe Charlotte would be willing to trade for him or sign him. So could actually see this happening in real life, just based off what LaMelo's career might be going down to, unless if he can't play basketball again. Regardless, he's done enough talking. Somebody current round against Charlotte, and we beat them in 4. So take care of business. And now we get the team that bounced us out last year. So they still have Mitchell. They added KJ Evans. They still have Oubre, Luke Cornett, Chris Silva, Corey Joseph. Their bench is terrible, but they have a really good starting 5, as we know. But I feel like our starting 5 is phenomenal as well. So let's see how this goes. Game 1, they're up 1-0. They absolutely smoke us, and it's happening again, isn't it? Wow, Cleveland is just that team, man. Didn't even get a chance on them. We got swept. So we'll be running it back another year. Cleveland actually loses to Toronto. So I wonder if we would have beaten Toronto, because they have Horton Tucker, Richardson, Vucevic. So you're telling me I couldn't even get a game on the Cavaliers, but Toronto ended up beating them? All right, 2K, I see you. You got the Raptors going on to win it all. So shout out to the Raptors, I guess. And I'm going to be running it back one more season, I think. I think that's going to be fair. So Chicago gets 1, Pelicans 2, Dallas 3. And we got not a huge off season. I'm going to be running it back. So I'm just going to basically run it back. Not going to change too much. And I will see you guys at the end of next season. So the full year of Mikal Bridges, 66-16 is a result on the season. So I felt really good about that. And one thing we're also super excited about is Donovan Mitchell is no longer in Cleveland. And that is a team that's been stumping us the last 2 years. So Jalen Suggs made an all-defensive team, if I'm not mistaken, which is cool for him. But we got the 1st seed in the East. We take a look at the player stats. You had 32 from Maxey, 23.5. 17, 12, and then 10. It is definitely weird seeing Mikal Bridges go from averaging 20, whatever it was when he got traded to Brooklyn, to now only averaging 10. This is just like super unrealistic for him to go down that much. But regardless, we're playing the New York Knicks in round 1. They got Giannis. So how unfortunate would it be if we lost to the Knicks, who obviously are at 8th seed, but they have Giannis Antetokounmpo? So somebody current round against New York, bro. If we get 8th seeded, I'm so upset. We beat them in 6, though. That was close. We beat them in 6, and now we get Atlanta, which is another team that's pretty annoying to play. But I guess they don't have Capella or they don't have Okongwu anymore. So hopefully that makes them a little bit weaker. They added Aaron Gordon, Steph Murray, Trae Young, Bruno Fernando's their center. Somebody current round, and we're going to beat them in 5. So take care of business, and now we get to play Charlotte, which, didn't we beat them last year? So I feel like, they added Giddey. LaMelo and Giddey as a backcourt. Got Jarris Walker, Mark Williams, Lonzo Ball, Clint Capella. Pretty good team in Charlotte. But we are in the East Conference Finals again. This time, hopefully we take care of business. Somebody current round, and we beat them in 6. And now we get the Rockets. How ironic is this? Houston has James Harden, who's gone down to an 83 overall, which is also partly why I went the route that I did, because I know Harden was just going to continue to regress. Harden, Jalen Green, Brandon Miller, Jabari, Şengün, Eason, Kenyon Martin, Raylan Rupert, and Isaiah Collier. So pretty good team in Houston, but we're up 1-0 to start things off. 29-3-3. Game 2, they evened it up. Game 3, 2-1. Game 4, 3-1. Game 5, and just like that, we restarted the process and won it in what, 2 or 3 seasons? So Max is your Finals MVP. And that was a fun way to go about this rebuild. I actually really had fun with that one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I think it's going to be a little bit different, or I think it was a little bit different than usual. So if you enjoyed me trading Joel Embiid the way I did, definitely let me know. Maybe down the line we can do a different 76ers rebuild where obviously we still keep him. But I had a lot of fun with that one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, tomorrow I will be streaming the draft lottery. We'll also have a Knicks offseason rebuild the usual time tomorrow. So tomorrow will be a very eventful day. So make sure you're looking around at my channel if you want to be part of some of the things we're doing tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.